Hello students, today will we discuss about compare and contrast the characters of Wildlife and Klim. Okay. Both Wildlife and Klim are major male character in the novel. They are young, good looking and handsome. Okay. Both begin their career with respectable profession but later on leave them. Wildlife is an engineer, but he becomes an innkeeper and maintains the quiet woman inn. Wildlife was a manager in a diamond firm at Paris, but after his return to Eden Heath, he decides not to return to his job. He wants to open a school, but because of the failure of his eyesight, he gives up this idea and becomes a fudge cutter and itinerant preacher. George Bernard Shaw once observed in this paradoxical manner: there are two tragedies in life. One is not get the object of one's heart desire, the other is to get it. Wildlife and Klim represent these two tragedies. Wildlife suffers from the curse of inflammability, while Klim seeks guidance from cold region. Wildlife has fascination for life in big cities, and with the money he gets as legacy from his uncle, he intends to visit many countries. But Klim is completely dissatisfied with his life in Paris and decides to settle at Eden Heath. Klim is introvert and given to thought, while is extrovert with winning manners. Wildlife is not constant in love even after his marriage with Thompson. He moves around Eustatia's house, though she has also been married to Klim. Klim is firm in his love. He does not think of marrying Thompson even after Eustatia's death. Klim is wholeheartedly devoted to his mission of imparting education of Heath people, and its lands are grandeur to him. While Wildlife is dissipating his energies, he has no fixed aim in his life. Wildlife loves luxury and philandering, while Klim aims at the welfare of poor people. Both have different attitudes towards Heath. Wildlife hates the Heath and wants to go away from it, while Klim loves it. He has returned to the Heath never to go back to Paris. Klim has all the merits and demerits of an impractical idealist. Wildlife generally displays more shrewdness and prudence. Klim Everett is the hero of the Return of the Native. He is the native whose return to the Eden Heath alters the fortunes of several persons, including Han himself. The novel is concerned with his relations with two female characters, Mrs. Everett and Eustacia Wilde. Both of women meet their tragic end because of Klim, though Klim never intends to do any harm to any of these women. Fate has always been against him since his return to his native land, and in the end he is left alone and friendliness. I got to like the character of Klim before I had done with him, Heidi wrote when he read the novel many years afterwards. I think he is the nicest of all my heroes and not a bit like me. Hardy expresses his affectionate feelings towards Klim in this last paragraph. Klim deserves kindness because he has suffered so drastically and his moral philosophy is akin to that of Hardy. in being a simple system of ethics not tied to philosophy in any way. Whether it is equally obvious that claim is not wit like me, I am not sure. In many ways, Hardy does seems to have been very like him in his unconventional ideas, his deviousness about many received opinions, and his feeling that when life is cut off from its natural roots, it is bound to be unhappy. Physical features. In chapter 6 of book Second Hardy vividly describes Klim's physical features. To one of middle age, the countenance was that of a young man. Though he a youth might hardly have seen any necessity for the term of immaturity. But it was really one of those faces which convey less the idea of so many years in its age than of so much experience as its store. The number of their years may have adequately summed up Javed, Mahilal, and the rest of the antediluvians. What at the age of modern man is to the measure by the intensity of his history. Dorman Wildlife is another major character in the novel, The Return of the Native. He is generally regarded as the villain of the novel, but Hardy has portrayed him as a romantic figure. He resembles Troy in Far From the Madding Crowd. Wildlife is a handsome young man, his figure so attractive that he readily draws the attention of women. He was quite a young man, and of the two properties, form and motion, the latter first attracted the eye in him. The grace of his movement was singular. It was the pantomimic expression of a lady killing career. Next came into notice the more material qualities, among which a profuse crop of hair impending over the top of his face, landing to his forehead the high cornered outline of an early Gothic shield, and the neck, which was smooth and round as a salad. The lower half of his figure was of light build. Altogether, he was one in whom no man would have seen anything to admire, and in whom no woman would have seen anything to dislike. We get some idea about Wildlife from the talk of the Heath people. Susan Nissens is not in favor of Thompson's marrying Wildlife, but considers him to be good looking and clever. She says to give him his due. He is clever and for fellow in his way, almost as clever as Clem Wright used to be. He was brought up to better things than keeping the quiet woman in. An engineer, his learning was no use to him at all. In her opinion, he is a man whom a woman would hardly refuse to marry. Wildlife is a romantic figure. Hardy calls him the Rousseau of Eden. Wildlife is the habit of looking away from the small but the satisfying glow of actual life to some perhaps illusory, anticipated heap far away. To be yearning for the difficult, to be wary of that offer, to care for the remote, to dislike the near, it was Wildlife's nature always. Another aspect of Wildlife's nature is the contrary to Rousseau. He has no love for nature. Like Eustacia, Wildlife hates Eden Heath and wants to go away from there. Klim's life is a long tale of suffering. There are two main reasons for it. The first is his nature. He is guided by unpractical idealism in life. Second, it plays an adverse role in this life. His marriage with Eustacia, loss of his eyesight, Eustacia's meeting with Wildlife at the country dance, and the closing door incident leading to his mother's death, and thereafter the breach of nuptial relation with Eustacia can be cited as a few illustrations of the adverse play of fate. Wildlife is an innocent, inconstant lover. He is not sincere in his love for Eustacia and Thompson. He has affairs with both the women, but he is unable to decide with whom he should be firm and loyal in love. He loves Thompson and decides to marry her. When his marriage is not performed with Thompson an account of technical mistake, he promises to marry her soon but is soon attracted towards Eustacia. When he gets the signal of invitation from Eustacia, he quickly responds to it and goes to meet her. Even after his marriage with Thompson, he continues to show his passionate liking for Eustacia. He wanders around Eustacia's house to have a glance of her, and when he is frightened by Van, he decided to meet Eustacia as a relation. During the daytime at the end of the novel, he decides to elope with Eustacia. All this shows his vibrant nature. He is a Byronic figure and has all the instincts of a lady killer. He is not a reliable lover. He is a trickster and philanderer. I find there are two plots where I thought there was only one. Although the male characters in the novel have not been drawn so distinctly in the novel as female characters, yet Clem remains a memorable character of Hardy. Like Knight and Claire, he is an intellectual and an egoist. Hardy has attained remarkable success in delighting Clem as an idealist who seems incapable of sympathetic communication with anyone outside himself. Indeed, Clem is the most isolated figure among Hardy's heroes. Both Wilde and Clem are major male characters in the novel. They are young, good looking, and handsome.